of shit, put a little bit of shit, got a little bit of gasoline. Put a little bit of shit,
listening to the Narrative Podcast with Halsey Allen. The Narrative Podcast is changing the narrative one episode at a time.
Welcome. You're now listening to the Narrative Podcast, and I'm your host, Halsey Allen. Welcome all my narrators. Welcome anybody that's new to the podcast and may be listening right now on my live feed. So before I go into my content, just let me bring everybody up to speed who may not know who I am and what I do. So the name of the podcast is called The Narrative Podcast. It's called The Narrative Podcast for a reason. Specifically because I believe that the liberal and mainstream media does a horrible job at depicting original people and original culture. So I want to come up with a platform that would showcase us and highlight us at our absolute best and play up all our strengths and just shine the light on everything we do positive. And so what I hope to do on my platform is destroy the negative stereotypes about original people and original culture. And so when I'm saying original, I mean Black. And for those that don't know, just recently I had an epiphany about the word Black. And on my platform, I have decided to replace Black with original. And I feel original kind of is a perfect descriptor for all of us, no matter where we hail from in the world, whether it's here in the U.S., whether it's in Canada or the UK or Europe or Brazil, Latin America, wherever you're at, if you are melanated, possess melanin, and can trace your lineage back to Africa, you are an original person. So an original person is kind of all inclusive. It doesn't matter where you're at in the world. It's a scientifically proven fact that we were here first. So it just makes sense to call us original people. I feel, in my opinion, that'll help with, cut down with all this division because we got enough things dividing us. Anyway, got a little long-winded with the whole original thing. Still haven't brought you all the way up to speed on the Narrative Podcast. So basically, I want to, encourage anybody listening to my podcast to share positive content online. My tagline is the Narrative Podcast, changing the narrative one episode at a time by destroying negative stereotypes about original people and original culture. So what I want you to do as the listener is to destroy negative stereotypes one post at a time, meaning like whatever your platform is, like if it's Facebook, if it's Twitter, Instagram, whatever, just make sure you're posting some type of positive content, something positive, because it really does just carry a lot of weight. Whatever your post online is, your carbon footprint, this is how people will perceive you as, so I'm not going to tell you what to post online. You're a full grown adult or, but when you look at the bigger picture, all these people outside of our culture that do not understand the nuances within our culture and the things we do and the things we say, because it's always being weaponized against us, and basically like just having us look super bad and sound super bad, hypercriminalizing men, hypersexualizing women, and just making us look like, we are amoral people, that we're lazy, that, we don't deserve human decency and human and compassion. This is what the powers that be has done to our people. And this is why people outside of our culture look at us and perceive us as a certain way. And that's why they definitely, make certain laws to exclude us and, reserve certain tangibles and things for themselves and not split it up amongst equally with us. So, it's all about perception, and got a little long-winded again. So basically, I just want people to share positive content and just enjoy in our culture and represent us well. Got super long-winded. I'd like to try to keep these things under 1 hour. This is a live broadcast, so what I usually do on my lives is I share positive, articles for frames of reference, to give positive frames of reference, again, to aid me in destroying these negative stereotypes about our people and our culture. So I'm going to share those, and then sometimes if I have some commentary to discuss, I discuss that. The reason why I do that is, again, from, the original people perspective, like anything going on in the world, how does it pertain to us? Does it include us? You know what I mean? Because the media will have us looking and sounding crazy. So when something happens, I voice my opinion, give my commentary from the original person's perspective. Now, what I do not do is, I don't gossip, I don't speculate, I don't drag other people through the mud. So I don't, indulge in gossip. Nothing that will push and promote the negative stereotypes, because that's what I'm trying to get rid of on my platform. So I think I brought you up to speed. I will dive right into these articles. And then after I'm done with my articles and everything, I will go give you a breakdown of my format for all the new listeners. For all my narrators, you already know the drill, but anybody that's newly listening, I will give you a breakdown of my full broadcast episode. This is a random live feed. I never know when I'm going to go live, so, if you're listening now, cool. You lucked out. Caught me when I was live. All right, there's been a lot happening in the world, so before I dive into these articles that I ran across, I'm going to just address some things. First off, there's been kind of a tragedy recently. I believe it was in Dallas, Texas, or something like that, where there was a car accident where over 16 people died. So I want to send condolences to all those that perished in that car crash. Sending love, light, and healing energy to all their families and friends, associates, and anybody affected by that incident, including the driver and their family for everything they must be going through. It was a horrendous accident. I don't know what the lady's mental health state was, but it says in the news that that wasn't the first time that she's been in a vehicular accident. So she's had several. I don't know, what she's been going through, but I don't know. I hope she finds peace in this time, and there's no amount of sorry to bring all those people back. So I'm kind of speechless on that. I don't really know what to say in that situation. Yeah, just prayers up everybody. So yeah. Also, rest in peace to we lost another one. Roger E. Mosley just passed away. So he's a veteran actor, producer, writer. He's been in like so many movies. He got like over five. His career spans over 5 decades. He was 80 when he passed away. He got in a car wreck just a few days ago, and then he was hospitalized. He was paralyzed. So, shortly after he passed away. But tremendous actor. Some of his biggest movies was The Other Side of Hell, where he played Jim Baker. The Mac, where he played Olinga. And then, most recently was Smitty on Thin Line Between Love and Hate. And like I said, he got like, and then who could forget like Sweet Jesus Preacher Man, where he was Lee Harper. Lee Hong, excuse me. Been years since I seen the movie. Like it was like before my time anyway, but I did watch all his whole catalog growing up. And then of course, his most iconic role was in television as the helicopter pilot on Magnum PI, Theodore Calvin, or as in the series, they refer to him as just TC. Fun fact, he was an actual licensed helicopter pilot. They didn't let him drive or pilot any of the helicopters in any of the scenes, for insurance purposes. But he did actually know how to, operate a helicopter. And then also he was really big on morals. He didn't smoke, drink, or do drugs, and he insisted that, his character that he portrayed didn't either. He insisted that to the network execs. So that was a part of his contract to never ever, show TC smoking a cigarette or, a cold one at the bar. That's why we never saw that on Magna PI. Yeah, so prayers up, condolences to his family, all his friends, associates, anybody ever worked with him in the craft of acting. You was definitely fortunate to have known him while he was alive. And like I said, man, he got a really long resume. He goes over 5 decades in film, and we was very fortunate if you even saw him in one project on screen. So yeah, he was definitely beloved, and he will be missed. On a lighter note, I want to send a special congratulations to Mr. Keenan Thomas. He was honored today with his very first, well, I think you only get one, but his own star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. And he has been acting since he was a child. He's in I think he's 40, about 41 now, maybe 40, 41. But he's been acting since he was like 8 years old. Like, also, again, an impressive resume. And then I think he just holds the record for being a SNL alumni, like the longest person to ever, you know, comedian to ever be on SNL. There's nobody else with that's been on SNL for as long as he has. I think he's like over 5 or 10 years. So that's very impressive. Because like SNL, they fired some like really heavyweights. So for him to stick around that long and they keep on, giving them the bag, they must like what they see. So he definitely deserves it. He's been a pleasure to watch, from the Wildin' Out, not the Wildin' Out, but what was that show? The Nickelodeon show. I can't think of a title right now. I'll probably think of it later. All that, yeah. All that, and Keenan and Kel, and The Good Burger. What else was he in? Mighty Ducks, Fat Camp, all his work up till now. He definitely deserves it. So tipping my hat to that brother. Congratulations on your star on the Walk of Fame. And then final thing I want to say before I dive into these articles is congratulations for everybody in attendance for the Rock the Bells festival. Congratulations to whoever put that together. It's been an awesome display of camaraderie. In my opinion, hip hop culture is the biggest, most influential culture on the planet. And that festival seemed to like celebrate that. Was just like an endless stream of roses. Like there was performances, no egos. Everybody was promoting whatever they had going on. Bun B was there with the Trill Burger. Styles P with the Juices for Life. People was there. Artists was there promoting books and whatever they had going on. So I don't know what type of deals was made under the table, but it seemed to just really to be for the spirit of hip hop and celebrating artists, letting the artists be artists, and celebrating the brotherhood and the sisterhood of hip hop. And they came out and they represented. And just on a sidebar, the maturity level has just come full circle because like 10, 15 years ago, that couldn't have happened. All them different, artists under one, roof, like it would have been some friction. But, I think everybody after everything that's been going on in the media in the world, I think they just was like, let's just have some fun. Let's just push this thing that we love and just, embrace each other in the brotherhood and the sisterhood of this thing that we love to do and that made us who we are, and just enjoy each other's company. And you know what I mean? You can be competitive without actually physically trying to hurt somebody and dragging people all through the mud and slander and all that. So, tip of my hat to all those involved with the Rock the Bells. Good show, good show. Excellent vibe. Hope to see more events like that. Even though I wasn't in attendance myself, but from what I seen online, it looked pretty good. All right. So now I'm going to dive into these articles. All right. First article, the headline reads, FAMU grad arrested falsely, accused at age 13, now interns for the world's, what was it? For the youngest black judge in her circuit's history for juvenile delinquency division. And the sister's name is Mary Radican. She was arrested in 2000. The judge that she's interning for is Tiffany Baker Carper. She shared her story on LinkedIn, so go check it out, her bio on LinkedIn, to get the full story, the whole ins and outs, what happened. And it definitely was a transformative process. Unfortunately, bad things happen. And like I've said thousands and thousands of times, this judicial system was not designed to accommodate us. I don't think they'll ever come up with laws that will, accommodate us, because that will compromise the power structure, and they don't want to usurp their power. So, again, in that same breath, I tip my hat to anybody in law, in the judicial system, all, original judges, original men and original women, that is a judge or, a lawyer or attorney or something like that, fighting the good fight, doing what they can, but ultimately, the law is the law, and they're not going to, alter it to accommodate us. Next article reads, headline reads, meet the founders of the first black-owned sliced bread company. The sliced bread company's name is the Black Bread Company. I mean, on my platform, I say original people, but it's called the Black Bread Company. And the brothers' names are Charles Alexander, Mark Emmon, and Jamel Lewis. It all started with a simple enough trip to the grocery store. His wife, Mark Edmond's wife, sent him to the store to go run out and pick up some things for the house or whatever. and he decided, to fulfill all what he could on her list by just companies owned and operated by original people, aka Black. I say original on my platform, but to his surprise, when he went to go get the bread, there weren't any sliced bread companies by owned and operated by original people. So, boom, that sent the signal flare up. He's like, I gotta, you know, create a need for this product. And so they moved forward with it. He got, with his other friends. They also have business and marketing skills. And, it was just like minded individuals coming together. And they made it happen. I believe they're based out in Chicago. You can go hit them up at let me see if I just got the website right. I did not write it down in my notes. I'm gonna have to hit that up so I can properly plug it. I think it's just the blackbreadcompany.com. I just want to make sure. It's just called blackbreadco.com. Yeah, that's the website, blackbreadco.com. And it'll give you a full list of their products, what they got. I mean, the product is bread. I don't know how exciting that's going to be, but they got that bread. All right, moving right along. Next article, headline reads, Black woman, this is what the headline says. I don't say that. Black woman who is deaf and blind graduates Harvard Law School. And bear with me because the sister is Ethiopian. So if I'm mispronouncing the name, forgive me, anybody from Ethiopia, I mean. Haben Grima. She graduated in 2013 with her JD. She's recently written a book titled The Deaf Blind Women Who Conquered Harvard Law. And so she definitely has quite an interesting story, very complex. So her family moved around quite a bit when it was in Ethiopia. So she had a really, really long background story. And it'd behoove you to, check out, do your Googles and read up on her. She's doing all kind of philanthropy right now, advocating for people with disabilities and, definitely trying to get some inclusion for original people in that field. So, yeah. Next article, headline reads, Man opens Ohio's first black-owned breast cancer center. And the brother's name is LeVar Jacobs. He did this in honor of his mother's memory and his best friend. They both passed away from breast cancer, and he wanted to do, something to help with breast cancer. So he opened up that facility in Ohio, and he also has his own nonprofit organization called Not Just in October. And it's kind of self-explanatory because October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And basically with that statement, he's saying he's doing it, dedicated all year round, giving cancer survivors, anything they need, wigs, transportation, whatever. So yeah, that is definitely a moving story. So that's all the articles I have today. I just want to share them with you again to provide positive frames of reference about original people and original culture. That's, my mission statement for this podcast. Destroy the negative stereotypes about original people and original culture by providing positive frames of reference, basically telling our stories from our perspectives on our own terms and conditions. So, having said that, now I'm going to break down my format for my full broadcast day. And on the full broadcast days, on the weekends, so during the weekdays, you'll probably get probably about one super random live. I don't ever know which day. So like I say, on my live days, I just let the articles accumulate. I try to do like 2 to 4 articles that just really stand out, that's really super positive. So how I usually start off on my full broadcast day, I offer the olive branch to any original people that are business owners that need or would like some free promotion to hit me up at passionwebmail@poeticpassion.host. Subject bar, just type promo. Body of the email, little bit about yourself, business, product, or service, and I will plug it on my platform for absolutely free. And the purpose of me doing that is, to do my part to keep the original dollar circulating in the original community. And then on to my next section. I'm sorry, I lost in the train of thought. The next section is the Chew on This contest that I'm currently running for this podcast. And what that is basically is I'm just promoting a contest, giving my listeners some incentive to keep listening and reward those that's been listening, give them a free prize just for participating in the contest. And then what I'm going to do is give them a bulk supply of their favorite snack to, participate in the contest. And the contest is just basically share your most recent shopping while Black experience. Like I said, I don't really share. I'm trying to shift away from saying the word black, but I came up with the contest before I had that epiphany. Why am I doing that? Again, for just listener participation. I don't have my own hotline yet. I just wanted to interact with the people listening to my podcast. For them to enter the contest, to just show me that they're listening and they're digging the content, and I'm gonna give y'all something. And that's the only reason why I'm doing that. So, I don't want your information. I don't want nothing from you. Entry is totally free, and then you're going to get something. So why not? And so to enter that contest, what you do is hit me up at passionwebmail at poeticpassion.host. Subject bar, type, chew on this, and then / or dash shopping while black. If you do not want to type the whole phrase shopping while black, just type the letters SWB, body of the email, your mailing address, so I know where to send the product, then what type of snack you want, and then of course your shopping while black experience. Just try not to go over 6 paragraphs. Just I want to know what happened, and it's a very real thing. It happens all over the world, not just in America, and we've all experienced that at some point of our lives. So we need to keep the conversation going. All righty. On to my next one, or not on to my next thing. I'm just giving you guys the format. Then after that, I go into my spotlight section or a highlight section where I'm highlighting businesses owned and operated by original people. And why do I do that? To showcase and highlight entrepreneurialism, give positive frames of reference, give solid examples of people, original people doing for themselves and their community. In addition to that, another qualifying factor is that I use is like they're doing some type of philanthropy, whether they got their own nonprofit organization or they pay into one, and also it lines up with my current theme. So the current theme running right now is the season of summer. And, for this month, it'll be my last summer themed highlight sections because, after this month, summer's over. But so all the businesses that I've been highlighting since June have been, in stride with the season of summer, just something you would think about, that you would equate summer with. Some place you would go in the summertime, something you would do in the summertime, something you would wear in the summertime, something you would eat in the summertime. So, yeah. And then after the highlight section, I go into the spotlight. Now, spotlight section is just me basically spotlighting a public figure. And by spotlighting, I mean giving them the roses while they're here. Now, not for nothing, I think I started the wave on spotlighting. Nobody was spotlighting anybody until I started my spotlight section. Now everybody's doing a spotlight. But anyway, the types of people I spotlight are usually in the entertainment industry. And they're usually like actors, actresses, athletes, comedians, writers, producers, directors, public figures, whatever. Just, people going above and beyond to, hold us in a positive light, doing what they can to, aid in the plight, to get us inclusion, or just speaking on the cause on all the platforms. So yeah, I do a spotlight section to spotlight them, give them their roses. So that's that section in a nutshell. And then after the spotlight section, I go into a health and wellness tip. And in my health and wellness section, what I'm doing is promoting the active, healthy, fit lifestyle. And yeah, that's basically it. I'm just promoting a healthy, active, fit lifestyle. In that section, what I do is I give tips about, diet, exercise, mental health, just things you can do to, keep your immune system fortified and keep your vitality up. Because we get all kinds of negativity that we get bombarded with. And so, if you have proper diet and exercise and mental clarity and focus, you'll be less likely to come down with a dis-ease. So, yeah, that's what I'm hoping to do. Just share, my limited knowledge about staying healthy. So I'm not like a herbalist or a dietitian or no, guru or nothing like that. I'm just doing my part. Then after the health and wellness segment, I do my speaking point of the day if I have one. And it's usually just like commentary on a recent event, either exclusively in our community or, if it's abroad, where are we at in the equation? Or just, something randomly on my mind that I think I should, I feel like talking about. And then I close out with a final thought. My final thought is just a pearl of wisdom, a gem, a jewel, just something to keep on your mind, something to, spark critical thinking, just inspire you to think critically and not just accept anything that you're given. That's what I'm hoping to do, just leave you with something that resonates on your mind and, bam, bada boom. And then I'm done. And then, of course, I plug whatever I got going on, and that's the Narrative Podcast Experience in a nutshell. So that's the Narrative Podcast full broadcast day. Today is a super random live feed. I'm going to tell you right now, I don't have any commentary today because there's a lot going on in our news, but it's not really content that I want for this platform. It's just like, rumor mill gossip. It's like, what I'm saying, with celebrities and stuff. Somebody calls somebody a sucker. Woo woo. I don't do all that on my platform. So I'm not going to indulge that. So that's kind of a good thing that I don't really have any commentary to deliver. Nothing really troubling and upsetting has come across my radar. Only thing I would say is to everyone is to just stay diligent, still maintain your focus, still treat this thing like it is very real. Still continue to wash your hands and use all that proper measures and sanitize your area. Um, Exercise, eat right, get plenty of sunlight. Keep your water supplies at plentiful, your non-perishable food items at plentiful, because this can get flipped any day. They've been showing us and demonstrating this to us, like they can flip the switch any day, like literally any day. So yeah, if you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready. I do kind of got like a little thing to share. It's not something super relevant, but yeah, I have been under the weather and God struck me down. If I'm lying, I have not been ill all since I've been vegan. So for the last like 3 or 4 days, I've been sick. And I initially thought it was that thing. I thought that thing got me. I was like, oh my God, oh my God. And just like, no matter what I tried to do to get up, it wasn't helping. But then I calmed my nerves, start doing my mindful breathing, just focus. And I start just like playing the scenarios like, this isn't natural. Because we know we eat plants, we exercise. Like, why am I feeling this way? And then boom, I got my answer after I created some stillness. What I was experiencing was a food-borne illness. So it wasn't that thing, it wasn't the regular schmegler flu, it wasn't the rhinovirus, it was a food-borne illness. And I figured out where I got it from. I'm still contemplating on like having the item send it to a lab to have it like scanned. But I know what made me sick. It was some pesto sauce, some vegan pesto sauce from TJ's, and it probably was just like out of the food temperature danger zone, and it like really made me sick. Like I'm still feeling woozy. But good thing was it wasn't that thing, it wasn't the flu, but it did cost me some precious time because I'm trying to work on a whole lot of projects, and all that time I done laid up in the bed, I could have been making moves, but yeah, it wasn't that thing, thank goodness. But I guess I brought that up also to when you're buying food in the grocery store, you probably want to have a thermometer on hand to temp your like items that you buy, like that, things that are supposed to stay cool. Because I purchased it on a really hot day. So I don't know. It just looked kind of dope. I wanted to try it. But that junk made me sick. I think they probably just didn't like rotate the stock or something. So I don't know. I had to go back and look to see like when I bought it and the expiration date and all that. But I think it was just like they didn't rotate the stock, or maybe their cooler is broken. I don't know, but that junk made me sick. But how I got on the mend is I didn't abandon my principles. I was using all my anti-inflammatory things I can think of. I was mostly doing clove and ginger to get me back right. Clove, ginger, turmeric. Um, and then like getting my sunlight. So I had to force myself to get out of bed. And then like that sunlight did the trick, man. Just, revitalized me, start sweating them toxins up out of me. Whole lot of citrus infused water, and got back right, man. I'm like back at 100. So, you know, nature does not lose. And it kind of taught me a lesson because I probably could have just made it myself, and that wouldn't have happened if I would have just like made it myself. Just to took some kale, and like it's not hard to make. Like pesto is not hard to make. It's super easy. But I don't know. It just looked good. I want to try it. Like that's what I get. All right. I don't really got too much to talk about. Oh yeah, I'm looking at my points that I had bulleted for Mr. Mosley. I would have to say in the Mac, like out of all those quotable lines from the movie, all those pimp phrases and all that, and like what resonated with me was his character. Like, cause most kids when they watch the Mac, they want to grow up, they want to be a pimp, and they want to drive the car and all that. When they seen that movie, when I saw that movie, I was like, yo, I want to be like him. Olinga, the character Olinga, his character, like that was one of the that was a strong brother, man. That was like a visual representation of a strong brother. And even though there was on opposing sides of the coin, at the end of the day, that was his brother, and like they managed to patch it up at the end, but. You know what I'm saying? To have that conflict on screen. But said all that to say, like the character Olinga, that's who I kind of like, what resonated with me when I was young. Even though they had all that other entertaining stuff going on in the movie, like that had me in awe. It's like, dang, a cause, a purpose. You know what I'm saying? Then also the movie Lead Belly. That was another good one that I don't think he ever got enough roses for his portrayal of Huddy Ledbetter. Yeah, so like I said, I didn't really have nothing today. Today's just a super duper random live. And I'm going to just put a pin in it here and ask you guys to join me this weekend for a full episode of the Narrative Podcast. So download this episode and all previously recorded episodes of the Narrative Podcast. Then also check out my poetry blog, Halsey's Poetry Corner, at www.mrhalseysblogs.com. And the best way to support that is when you see the link, Halsey's Poetry Corner, www.mrhalseysblogs.com. It's on blogger.com, powered by Adam. Just share it on all your social media platforms, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, whatever you got. Just share one of my poems. Instagram. Did I say Instagram already? Well, whatever they're sharing stuff on, share one of my poems on, and like that'll help expedite and grow the platform. Believe me, I'm here for the people. I'm trying to, launch the movement just to have us take the stand and, because, the media is a business. If we stop sharing or we cut back on sharing the negative content, then, they'll stop creating this stereotypical content. Things, the stereotypical stuff that insults our intelligence and makes us look very bad. If we stop, engaging and giving it a face and a voice, they'll stop producing as much. They'll still do it because, again, the reason why they do it is to, flip the narrative and have us, looking and sounding a certain way. And then people outside of our culture make generalizations and thinking that we're all like that. That we all talk, speak a certain way and that we all act a certain way. And it's just not true. And things they do because of these stereotypes is like when these cowardly police beat or kill us because they got negative frames of reference to go on, because they think we all, act and sound a certain way. We scary to them. They're frightened of us. But, I'm not making excuses for racism. Like, it's not my job to convert you, and I'm not trying to convince you. I'm just putting out the positive frames of reference. At the end of the day, they think what they think, they believe what they believe. But if my whole thing is, if you're going to tell it right. And so that's what I'm trying to do on my platform is tell our story. Because history has showed us if you don't tell your story correctly or tell your story, you will have your story told for you. And the story they're telling about us is not a good one. We've literally mothered and fathered humanity, but yet we're recorded nowhere in history. Like, you got to unearth, our existence in civilizations. But, anyway, like I said, that's my time. I'm going to put a pin in it right here. Thank you guys for listening today. Please tune in again next week for another full episode of the Narrative Podcast. And then also make sure you download this episode of the Narrative Podcast and all previously recorded episodes of the Narrative Podcast. Support my poetry blog, Halsey's Poetry Corner, at www.mrhalseysblogs.com. Share my poems on all platforms. They're really insightful, original pieces. I usually post poems daily. I haven't done so because, like I said, I've been under the weather. So I just kind of fell off on my posting, but I'm getting my groove back. So I should have something posted tonight. Yeah. I'm up out of here. Thank you guys for listening. Halsey Allen, The Narrative Podcast, signing off. See y'all this weekend.
place on fire. Put a little bit of shit, put a little bit of shit, get a little bit of gasoline. Put a little bit of shit,
Listening to the Narrative Podcast with Halsey Allen. The Narrative Podcast is changing the narrative one episode at a time.